Kia ora team, so Rehua and I are going mushroom hunting today. Would you like to join us? We're going for a walk in the bush. We've got all our favourite mushrooming kit, our Mother Earth mushrooming basket, and our favourite Victory Knives knife. And we're going to head off into the bush here and try and find some oyster mushrooms. It's a beautiful rainy spring day, and rainy spring days when it's wet and it's warm is a perfect time to find native oyster mushrooms here in the bush. We might find some, we might not, but what we're going to try and do is find some mushrooms and let you know some of the cool things that we find along the way. So come on, let's go find some mushrooms. So what I love about mushroom hunting is that you don't have to be quiet like when you're deer hunting, and so it's one of my favourite things to do with Rehua is go for a mushroom hunt, and he can just be noisy and yarn and sing as much as he likes, and we can just have a good time together. So I like to hunt with Rehua for deer, but I also like to hunt for mushrooms because we can just be us in the bush, and it's nice to have a good bit of balance. Hey boy. Who do you reckon put these rubbish in the bush? I don't know, eh? But what do we do with rubbish?
What? We throw them in the bin.
That's right, we pick them up, throw them in the bin. What we don't like to see is all of this rubbish in the places where we eat our kai from. So it's our job to go into the bush, pick up this rubbish, bring it out as well. When we look after the ngahere, when we look after Tahr, Haumia, Papatōnuku, we reckon that they look after us. So we take the bush out and usually they give us a kai, which is pretty awesome reward for coming in here and looking after the bush, we reckon. Hey boy. So what we're looking for here in the bush is some old dead tea coca, our cabbage trees, or old dead tea toki. And I've found that they are the two most common trees that oyster mushrooms, our brown native oyster mushrooms grow on. The dead tea coca, our cabbage trees, and tea toki. So that's what we're out here looking for. We've got a couple of trees that we know grow mushrooms from time to time, so we'll always check those, but we've always got our eyes out also for those new trees where a cabbage tree might have fallen down or a tea toki might have fallen down, and that's what we'll look for, because you always like to find a new oyster mushroom tree, I reckon.
I can take.
Kia ora team, we're here at one of our favourite mushroom trees. This old tea toki has fallen over and died, and sure enough it's got some beautiful brown oyster mushrooms up in the crown of that tree. So oyster mushrooms, as with many mushrooms, the hākeke, tāwaka, etc., they tell us that a tree is either sick, dead, or dying, and so that helps us to understand. They're a sign that it helps us to understand the state of the forest. When we see mushrooms going on a tree, that means they've got dead wood inside that tree, and we're looking around on the ground to make sure that that tree has little trees that are going to replace it when it falls over. If it's a hoheria, for example, we know that when that tree dies, it's got a beautiful lace bark that will come back and harvest. So at any one time, we're looking for mushrooms around the ngahere. At any one time, we've got a map in our minds on what trees are dead. There are mushroom trees that we're going to eat. What trees are sick and what trees are dying. And so we know there are mushroom trees. We also know that we've got to keep an eye on them to help look after this forest. The biggest thing though is that we like them because they taste absolutely incredible. So oyster mushrooms, they taste a little bit like chicken or oysters, and they have a lot more texture than your average field mushroom. Rehua absolutely loves them, I absolutely love them, and they're a native species of mushroom. So there you go, oyster mushrooms. Should we eat them, boy?
I'm going to pick them when I get up.
Well team, Rehua just found some hakeke. They're known as ear fungus. We call them bush noodles. They're not real delicious, but Rehua likes to eat them in the bush. Yeah, we have the odd one. They're quite tasty, eh boy? We cook them up with a stew usually, but Rehua is feeling a bit peckish. So here we are, a nice little bit of hakeke. Well team, thanks for coming with us on a mushrooming adventure. We've really enjoyed it. We found some brown oyster mushrooms, which we're going to take home and fry up for our lunch, which will be absolutely delicious. You guys might know a little bit more about mushrooms now, but thanks for coming along on our adventure. Today, Rehua and I are wearing a few things that we like. We're not currently, at the time this video is filmed, we're not currently financially endorsed by any projects. However, Mother Earth mushrooming basket we really like. Our Victory Knives knife we really like. I love the Swazi Tahr XP raincoat. Rehua is kitted out in Ridgeline fleece. We both like wearing woolen hats. I've got an MKM one. Rehua's got a Wyld one. Rehua's wearing Redbands boots because they are waterproof. Hey, if anyone finds any like kids hiking boots that are waterproof, let us know because we'd love those. And myself, I'm wearing CRISPI Titans because they are the most comfortable boot I've found to wear. So there you go, that's what we wear. We're not financially endorsed by any of these companies, but that's what we like to wear when we're mushroom hunting.